Yo, what's good, fellas? Okay, so the thing about this video, I was supposed to make this an actual analysis video, but it was supposed to be like, what 2 chapters ago? I'm late as hell with it, so I'm like, you know what? I might as well make it a reaction video, and why not react to one of my favorite up-and-coming Boruto content creators, strictly for the editing alone. This guy is really underrated. That's all I gotta say. You know, I really enjoy how everybody is seeing the vision of how I want to do these reaction videos now. I think a lot of people understand what I'm trying to do long term with this, and it mostly has to do with me just uplifting the community, you know what I mean? So last video, I reacted to a YouTuber called TF Anime, and I went to the video where I reacted to it, and I seen a lot of people comment, I'm from Six Paths doing good. Yeah, coming from Six Paths doing good, showing love from this, showing love from that. And I'm like, all right, this can work. You know, this is working. I'm seeing more people get recognition that hasn't got recognition before. So I want to keep it going. You know what I mean? I want to keep it going. I got a few up and coming creators on my radar, but I need more. I need more. So if you know an extremely underrated content creator, a Boruto content creator, because I'm not doing any other manga other than Boruto for right now, so let's just keep it strictly Boruto. If you know any other Boruto content creator that deserves recognition, just go ahead and put them in the comment section. Let me know, man. Let me know. I'm looking for more. I'm looking to expand my range. But Rue, if you don't know him, I'm gonna put the link to his channel down below in the description. Makes really good videos. In this specific video, the Singularities of Fate, like I said, I was supposed to make a video on them, never did. So I said, you know what? Might as well make it into a reaction video. And I love to talk about timelines, time alteration, all that. So I might really dive deep in this one. I'm gonna try not to because it's only an 8-minute video. So that means I want to keep this video within like 20 to 25 minutes. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video.
The Singularity of Fate. A group of individuals who have been revealed the truths and possibilities of the future, who can refer to the occurrences of the past.
I'm telling you. Now, I'm sorry to pause it so soon, but honestly, it's really criminal how under the radar some content creators are. And I know the YouTube algorithm works in mysterious ways. You gotta have a certain title, certain tags, and a certain topic has to be in relevance for a video to really pop. But like videos like this are really good. If I could edit like this, I'd be going crazy. And I definitely can learn. I'm just lazy.
The main reason as to why they band together is prescience. The ability of one of the members of the Singularity of
Wow.
Fate to see into the future.
Look at that.
But even though this ability gives you the freedom to
That's
see
amazing.
every future and choose or act in a way that leads to your best future.
That's some
knowing
good
about
editing.
the future leaves you trapped. Trying to change the future to your future will always never go as planned. And knowing about the future itself is a way to destroy it. And that's why being a Singularity of Fate is a curse.
Honestly, it is. And the thing I like about this group, the Singularities of Fate, is everybody has their specific role in order to bring change to the future. If we look at KASHIN KOJI, his role is to evaluate the future, evaluate future timelines, and instruct others on how to change it. It's clear he doesn't have the necessary physical power to change the future. So that puts him in more of like an orchestrator role. His role is to just lead people on how to do certain things. The one that is the physical enforcer, literally, the one who will actually bring upon that change that is envisioned by KASHIN KOJI is Boruto. He's the main piece. That's why KOJI is so stuck on not losing Boruto, because without him, none of it will work. Actually, without all 3 of them, this big mission to save the future would not be possible. So all 3 are needed to make that change. They just have a different role. So like I said, Boruto's role is more of like an enforcer role. He really can't do anything as like see into the future as of right now. I don't know what it'll be in the future, but I'm just saying as of right now, he cannot do anything but just be the enforcer. He has to go out there and actually make the change. He has to go out there and actually change the timeline. The timeline doesn't actually change without him, because neither KOJI nor Eida has the power to do it. Now, if we look at Eida, for example, if you think about it, her power is kind of like opposite of KOJI. So instead of her seeing the future, because she can't see the future, but with her Senragon, she can gaze into real-time events, and not only real-time events, but past events too. So instead of seeing the future, she could gaze into the past, which can also help change the timeline. Just like how she was able to see the entire conversation between Boruto and KASHIN KOJI. That's why she knows about everything that's going on so far. So to gaze and look at past events that they don't even know about, you can also see how timelines have changed. And therefore, seeing past events can alter how you move in regards to the future. So you see how all three of them kind of like work together. It's like one ability, one single ability. And that's what's so amazing about this new group. They all have to work together for this to work. Everybody has their specific role that is crucial to the mission. So if you're gonna ask me, is there anybody else that I think is gonna add to this group? Yes, there is. And this is my theory alone, so I don't know if anybody else like came up with this theory, but this is what I came up with by myself. The person that I wouldn't mind seeing being in this new Singularities of Fate is not Kawaki, it's not Himawari, it's not Sarada, it's not Mitsuki, it's not none of those guys. Who I could see being the fourth member is actually Tonari Otsutsuki. And I'm not gonna dive into it too much. If you watch the anime, you know exactly how much foreshadowing they put into in regards to Tonari and how he can be implemented into the story sooner or later. He was probably the first one who seen the Earth being in danger before Boruto was even born. And there's the whole thing about him being the one to give Boruto the Jogan. It's all this crazy stuff, but I do believe if time comes to pass, he can be a person to help bring great change to the world. That's all I'm saying.
Every little thing you do is a factor that changes the future more and more. Insignificant moments, emotional outbursts, observations could be the reason why you win or you lose your desired future. To know the future is to destroy it.
And it's crazy because it's all to get to this ending right here. Like, it's all starting to make sense. When we go back right here, and you see up in this like top left corner, Boruto says, did things really have to turn out like this? It's crazy because in the anime, he says, was this the best possible outcome? And for the longest time, we really didn't know what he meant. Like, I mean, he just thought like, yeah, how did things turn out like this? Is this the only way things have turned out? Could things have been different? But it actually makes more sense now, since we discovered prescience. So off rip, just Boruto saying that means Koji told him that this was the best possible outcome. All the other outcomes was worse than this, by the way. That's crazy to think about. Who knew the best possible outcome for Shinobi was Boruto and Kawaki at the end having a death match on top of a crumbled Konoha for the third time now? How many times has Konoha been destroyed? Three times? This is the third time right here, right? Yeah, the third time. Horrible place to live, by the way. Like, Konoha gotta be one of the worst places to live in the Narutoverse. Like, but he's right. All those events that happened so far, emotional outbursts from Sumire, the Shinju, everything, that all needed to happen one way or another. And it's crazy because once you realize how much power Boruto and Koji had from the start, you really start thinking they let certain things play out just because it offered the best possible outcome. Just like Code attacking Konoha. Boruto let Code attack Konoha. You gotta realize Boruto and Koji let that happen. They knew Code was gonna attack Konoha. They could have stopped him. Even Code said he was looking for Boruto. Boruto could have showed himself to Code earlier on to prevent that assault on Konoha. But he had to let it happen, because if he didn't let it happen, then something that was supposed to happen wouldn't have happened. Like, if you really think about it on a deeper level, it does make sense. Maybe he needed Kawaki to step in so Code can be distracted for a second. That gave enough time for Boruto to plant a toad on the Codes to follow him into the Ten Tails dimension. It's all gonna make sense one way or another. It has to. Everything was planned.
To know the future is to destroy it, because you're not supposed to know in the first place. And that's why KASHIN, KOJI, Boruto, and Eida are singularities in the track of the future called fate. Now, the Singularity of Fate currently consists of 3 members, and it should stay that way. More on this later in the video. This being Boruto, Koji,
okay, he
Eida.
says to stay that way.
The first Singularity of Fate was Koji, awakening his newfound Shinjutsu prescience, which enables him to see all possible occurrences of the future. You see, Koji is not just a singularity, but he is the source of all other singularities currently known. He is the sole collector of all possible information he can gain from the future, and relaying a certain amount of that information to others creates more singularities on fate. One of these other singularities Koji created was Boruto.
Yeah, exactly.
Boruto is a singularity of fate that works in the present, a singularity that needed to be created by Koji.
Yes, if you don't know what he's talking about, basically it's like Koji was the one who built Boruto up. He gave him the knowledge he needed. He gave him the power, the skills he needed to be able to take on this mission. So if he's saying Koji is the one that walks in the future, Boruto is the one that walks in the present, that means he's probably going to say Eida is the one that walks in the past, because she can see all past events. All three is needed to change the future or to achieve the best possible outcome, whatever. And you know what's crazy? I have so much like crazy theories on this, because obviously if we look back into like, what was it, chapter 75, when Boruto used Momoshiki's power and was able to see like vague images of the future, right? That leads me to believe that someday Boruto is probably going to be able to hone this power, and he himself is going to be able to see into the future, similar to how Koji was. Possibly with the awakening of his Jogan, the mastery over his karma, whatever. If it does come to the point where Koji is defeated or killed, and Eida is no longer in the picture, it's gonna have to be up to Boruto to carry out their wills. And I don't know what Ikimoto may be cooking up, but it could be possible Boruto could inherit both of these powers to see into the future and the past, with the most complete dojutsu we ever seen, the Jogan, the pure eye. So that's just a possibility for now. Like, for right now, like, we got Koji and Eida to take on those roles, but soon it's going to have to be just Boruto, if something were to happen to those two.
As we all know, Boruto was chased out of the village due to Kawaki and him switching lives due to the other singularity casting a veil on their memories called Omnipotence, which made Boruto known as the Hokage killer, Boruto, and the Hokage's son, Kawaki Uzumaki. Having nowhere to go and losing his master, who was the only person he could trust, 1 year into Boruto's conviction, Koji approached him at the best time possible, guiding him away from the forces that vowed to kill him for the Hokage's sake. Koji at that time decided that Boruto, for the sake of the future, needed to become a singularity. You see, singularities are serious imperfections in the lines of fate. They are holes in the track of the future capable of altering the fate of the world, for better or for worse. So it wouldn't exactly be an easy decision for the main singularity Koji to make anyone else another singularity.
Yeah, you
but
can't
that's
trust
not really
it.
the case for Boruto. You see, Koji being a main singularity, the source of all future information, makes him the main decision maker in all of this. The overseer or whatever. He knows of everyone's future affairs and how they affect the outcome of the possibility of the future. And through this, he knows that Boruto and Kawaki are crucial pieces that greatly affect the future's path, the world's future's path. They are both the potential reasons as to why the world might end or bloom in the near future. You see, in the present, 3 years ago, the only problem Boruto, Sasuke, and the rest of the shinobi world had was Code and his clawgrams. If they were capable of getting him out of the way, the world would assume peace once again. But that was also not necessarily the case too. At a time, Boruto and Kawaki weren't considered problems anymore, because Ishiki was gone, and without a sacrifice for the Ten Tails, it was as good as useless in another dimension. Also, Kawaki had prevented Momoshiki from reviving using Boruto's body, so Momo was a threat that was dimmed down by a heavy magnitude. The only problem was really Code, and that's what it was ever since Ishiki's death. But the Kashin Koji true prescience knew that Code wasn't the main problem. That was Boruto and Kawaki in the hands of the newly evolved Ten Tails. One of Koji's future sight was seeing that Code had accidentally evolved the Ten Tails into a self-conscious and intelligent life.
Another thing that's like crazy, because of the birth of the Shinju, this actually takes the story, or not even the story, but it takes the level of action to a whole nother level. Meaning, to change the future to a more positive outcome, more sacrifices will have to be made, more drastic changes to the timeline is going to have to happen for this to take effect. Like you said a minute ago, it's a big decision to decide to make someone a singularity of fate, because anybody that knows the future can make drastic changes to it, for better or for worse. That's why it's not wise to just tell anybody about events happening in the future. So you already have Boruto know about future events, and then, of course, since Momoshiki is there, he kind of knows about it too. So since Momoshiki knows about the future, you gotta look at Boruto as kind of like two sides of the same coin. Momoshiki could be out to destroy the future, while Boruto is out to protect it. Well, we don't know what Momoshiki is up to yet, but odds are he probably heard everything that Koji told Boruto regarding the future because of their souls just being intertwined with each other. And that's why I feel Koji may be like withholding some certain key information regarding the future to Boruto. It's not because he doesn't trust him per se, it's just that he knows that Momoshiki is present inside of him somewhere, and he can possibly, not possibly, he can hear the conversation. So he does have to watch what he's saying. And then there's the possibility of Koji like hiding key information from Boruto, not because of Momoshiki, but because of him not wanting Boruto to act on himself and getting himself killed. So what I mean by that is, what if there was a certain timeline where someone very close to Boruto had to die, but their death meant the safety of the planet will be secured? Of course, Koji would probably lean towards this future because he understands that there is some certain necessary sacrifices in order to reach your goal. But if we look at someone like Boruto, he may not accept that, and he may try to act on his own just to change that fate. And the change of that fate could, in fact, kill Boruto. Like, it could mess up everything. So, like I said, I know in my heart that there is some certain information that Koji is withholding from Boruto, either because of Momoshiki or because he just doesn't want him to act on his own. And that all stems from the Shinju being born right here. It's because of the Shinju everything has to be more precise. There's no room for mistakes, because a single mistake with these guys on the loose can mean the destruction of the planet. So yeah, like he said, before Code was the only problem, and they didn't really think much of it because it's Code, right? It's Code. Code couldn't be the main villain. He just couldn't. But with the introduction of the Shinju, everything is like much more urgent. Everybody's chest is tighter. Everybody has to really pay attention. And that's probably causing Koji to be more like heartless when it comes to things that have to be done in order to save the future.
While they had their current targets like Himawari, Sarada, Konohamaru, Eida, and Gaara, their final form of evolution comes from them devouring an Otsutsuki, which would be either Boruto or KAWAKI, which would then lead to the end of the world. Koji, seeing this and making sense of this situation in tandem with Boruto's current situation, decided that he had no choice but to also make Boruto, who had nowhere else to go, a singularity. Other people would have no purpose, no reason if they were to become a singularity at Koji's hands. But Boruto being a singularity is a shot at increasing the world's chances towards a good future. Nobody else should really become a singularity aside from Boruto and maybe KAWAKI, because they both, as centers or keys to the outcome of the future, hold the responsibility
I could definitely see KAWAKI being one
that are going to destroy it, which are the Shinjus and themselves as Otsukis.
Yo, these panels are crispy. I ain't even gonna lie. All right, that don't matter. They are crispy though. They are crispy. But yes, KAWAKI can be a singularity of fate. Him and Boruto can be that key piece in the middle. But like I said, I really want Tonari to. He probably doesn't have to be a singularity of fate, but I want him to be of great assistance to that cause. And I know he's going to be. He's gonna come into the story. He's gonna make a major impact on that. Whether it's giving Boruto the power to take on all the roles of the singularities of fate, or take on the role of KASHIN Koji if something were to happen to him. And a lot of people won't see it, but for the people who do see it, you know what I'm talking about. It's been foreshadowed time and time again.
But he could have also made Boruto a singularity for other reasons. Self-based reasons which we can't know for now, because while Koji is fighting for the future of the world, there is still room to question him on why he's doing it. In all honesty, he has done his part by defeating Jigen. It's not hard to suspect his actions as a way to get what he also wants, not just for the sake of the future, but also for the sake of his future. But we'll never know that anyways. It's not like speculation is enough to justify suspicion, so I'll leave that in things to look forward to, honestly. Now the last singularity to be formed, albeit by accident, was Eida. Eida is a being with the ability to dwell in the past, so it's easy to see why she became a singularity on fate.
Definitely.
Collecting information from Koji and Boruto of the past, touching data that kind of shouldn't have been touched. But even Koji knew that Eida's intervention was inevitable, telling her in advance, but in her past, that she will eventually become a singularity. And whether she'll be devoted on becoming one of the singularities of fate, she has no choice, because the singularities are trapped. Plus, she'll be making trouble for Boruto if she doesn't, which she said recently that she doesn't want. So Eida should
so she's forced into this role.
of what comes with being a singularity of fate.
Like he said, it is a
And that's
curse.
pretty much
She is
The
cursed with that
unofficial
power.
singularity of fate. A limited group of heretical existences burdened with the goal, the duty to guide the world into a favorable, a good future from the shadows.
Now I ain't gonna lie, that was a pretty good video. But what I was gonna say is, I really want to see Eida be involved more into the story. Like, it's obvious she is a very, very major character. And Konoha definitely needs her. She is probably the most important piece in Konoha because of her Senragan abilities. That being said, I want to know how she feels about this. I want to know what she wants to do. You know what I mean? Does she even care about Konoha enough to do all this other stuff? Does she care about the world, the planet being destroyed? What does she care about? You know what I mean? Besides just KAWAKI, having friends, I want her to have her own goals and ideals. And if she doesn't, that's totally fine. That's not going to ruin her character. Her character is already good. I just want to see where her head lies in all of this. But in regards to the singularities of fate, I believe this is the perfect group to execute this mission. It's perfect. All three roles are fulfilled exceptionally. Only thing that could ruin it is if something happens to one of those three, which I doubt that's gonna happen anytime soon. So yeah, but that's gonna be it for this video. So like I said, Rue, the link to his channel will be down below in the description. So go ahead and give him a sub, man. He's at 866 subscribers. Let's try to get him to 1K, man. Let's see what we can do. Less than 200 subscribers away. Less than 200. And I know for a fact, more than 200 people is going to watch this video. So let's say 1,000 people watch this video. Only 200 of those 1,000 have to go and sub to get him to 1,000 subscribers. And I hope this video wasn't too long. I don't even know how long I've been recording, but hopefully when I chop everything down and edit it, it's no more than 20 minutes. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you get notified whenever I upload or go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'm out. Peace.